was very calming and very healing. Science is showing that some forms of plant medicine, you can read a lot of books about Native Americans. Unfortunately, here in the United States,
you've explored such a rich range of healing practices: Buddhism, Native American spirituality, EMDR, and plant medicine. What drew you to each, and what did they teach you about yourself?
well, when I was in Northern California, of course, we're talking about, 1976. This is many, many years ago when I was in college, and it was not uncommon for us in Humboldt State to go walking in cow patties and pick psilocybin mushrooms. And that experience for me was very calming and very healing and showed me my self-worth. Now, today, we know that therapists are working with people and they're using plant medicine for depression and for healing. And so while I do not partake anymore because I'm completely sober, I'm heartened to see that, again, science is showing that some forms of plant medicine can be very effective in helping people with mental illness and depression and addictions. But I would like to say I would only consider doing that with the guidance of a therapist, not recreationally, especially if you don't know how it's going to affect you. Around that same time is when I found Buddhism, and I continue to meditate to this day. Every day, I at least listen to a guided meditation on, it used to be called 10% Happier. Now it's called Happier. I love listening to Buddhist teachers, belong to Insight Meditation Society, and I consider Sharon Salzberg and Jack Kornfield and Joseph Goldstein my teachers, and they saved me in many, many ways. But I had always, even as a teenager, I was very aware of what was happening in Wounded Knee, South Dakota. My parents did take me there, and I was able to see what life was like for a Native American person on a reservation, the poverty, the disease, the alcoholism. And I was very aware of when the American Indian movement took over Wounded Knee, as well as Alcatraz Island in the San Francisco Bay. And I always felt very drawn to Native American spirituality. And so in Los Angeles, of all places, I found a community of people who studied with Native American elders. And I stress that because, again, I would only practice Native American spirituality with Indigenous people, with Native people, who taught me, who took me into ceremonies where I felt safe because I was with Native elders or white people who Native elders had taught. So to this day, I would just encourage people, you can read a lot of books about Native American spirituality, but if you do want to practice, I would say find a community with Native elders. Unfortunately, we do have people that might go to one sweat lodge and then suddenly call themselves a shaman, and no one should ever charge any money for attending sacred ceremony. So there are things to be aware of. Just do your research and make sure that you're with safe people who are qualified to lead Native American spiritual ceremonies. So then the other one, yoga, I was studying acting in San Francisco at the American Conservatory Theater, where I had my very first yoga class in 1979 with the beloved Benita Bradley, an Iyengar teacher in San Francisco. And I also continue that to this day. I taught yoga for a dozen years, and now I'm just back to practicing. But there was a period where I really spent my whole profession. I created a whole cottage industry. I was a birth doula, a childbirth educator, and prenatal yoga teacher trainer, mommy and baby yoga, because I was also studying childhood trauma and the roots of trauma, and that it should start when a woman is pregnant. That is the time to think about nonviolence with yourself and with your baby and how you want to bring your child into the world is really, really important. And for you to educate yourself about the birth process. Unfortunately, here in the United States, I was just reading a New York Times article. I was a childbirth educator, 25 years ago, and the C-section rate in this country has only risen. 1 out of 3 births will be through C-section. And that, to me, is a whole other topic we could get into. Talking about how we're bringing babies into the world is the beginning of some kind of issues that we really need to look at so that we don't disturb the bonding that is so necessary between a mother and her partner and the baby.
Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.